Hi guys, so today I have for you another library haul. I always talk about how libraries are great on my channel, and if you don't have the money or space for books and you're not sure if you're gonna like a book, then you should go check out your library, and again this haul just reaffirms that. My local library has so many options for me to read. It's such a great YA section, and I highly recommend you go check out your library. What I tend to do when I borrow out books is borrow out books that I'm not really sure I'm gonna love, or books that I might love but I'm never gonna reread, and therefore I don't really want them for my own collection. If I do however turn out to love them and want to reread them and want to own them, then I'll go ahead and buy them, but at least I didn't buy them and didn't really like them, and hey, at least I get to read the book for free in the meantime. So go check out your local library basically. Anyway, let's get into what I borrowed out. I found Viral by Alex Van Tool. If you've seen any of my other videos, you probably know my distaste and disgust and hatred for this book, so I'm not going to get into it. I don't recommend it. It's really bad. My library also has a huge anime and manga section, and so I borrowed out the first 4 volumes of Inuyasha. Again, you've probably heard me talk about them, so I'm not going to get into too much detail. Basically, I've seen the anime, I really enjoyed the anime, and I wanted to read the manga to it. The reason I'm not buying this manga series, however, is because it's a ridiculously long amount of volumes and I don't have the money nor the space, and I'm not really that interested in buying them. I'm more just interested in reading them for free and then being done with it. The next 2 books, I'm really glad that I picked up at the library because I was debating about buying them, and I'm really happy that I didn't go with that decision. And they are Party Games and Don't Stay Up Late by R.L. Stine. This is a reboot to his Fear Street novel series, which he had like ages ago. When I was a child, like the Fear Street novels were coming out, and he's just bought the Fear Street novels back, and he started like U-books in this series, and these were the first 2 U-books in this series. Now, I used to love R.L. Stine as a child. I read Goosebump books and the Fear Street novels, and I loved them. They're of course cheesy, but I loved them for that, and they weren't too cheesy. There were plots in there that I never saw coming, like R.L. Stine always blew my mind. These, however, were horrible. They were extremely cheesy, extremely predictable, and I did not have fun reading them. I knew everything that happened, every silly plot twist. I saw it from a mile away. Nothing surprised me, nothing was scary, nothing was spooky, and the cheese was ridiculous. They're marketed right now towards the young adult genre, but I'm really not sure any young adult who's going to enjoy this. I'm not even sure any child who would enjoy this. I went back and read some of the other Fear Street novels, and they weren't nearly as bad as this, so I don't know what's happened to R.L. Stine, but you thoroughly let me down with this series. So from now on, I think I'll just stick with the old versions. Then I borrowed out The Body Finder by Kimberly Derting, and I loved this one. I really didn't know too much what it was about. The Body Finder kind of gives something away, but again, I kind of went into it clueless, and it turns out it's about a girl who can sense bodies. Each body for her has an echo, and if they were killed, the killer has the same unique echo. Ever since she was a child, she's been able to find these bodies of these animals, and she doesn't really, like, the echoes don't go away, and they keep haunting her until the bodies are laid to rest, like they're properly buried or something. But then she starts discovering human bodies and humans that have been murdered, and obviously that kind of mucks her up a little bit. So that's her story, and in this book it follows her and her town, where a serial killer is on the loose and he's murdering innocent girls. And our main protagonist, Violet, comes across one of these murdered girls, and then she kind of gets drawn into the middle of it. And obviously, as she can sense the echo, she goes ahead and tries to find the serial killer and catch him. However, in doing so, she kind of puts her own life at risk. I love things like this. Like, I love reading true crime. Things like this really interest me. I don't know if any of you remember the Ghost Whisperer TV show, but I loved that. I actually just found it on Netflix. I'm totally gonna binge watch it. So this book was right up my alley. It turns out this book is in a series, and I can't wait to read them all. This is a book where I'll be purchasing for myself, and I'm going to be buying the whole series, but as I said, thanks to the library, I was able to make sure that I wanted to buy it, because this is something that I will reread again and again. Also, one thing I really loved about this book that really just gave it that extra mile for me was that at some points a serial killer told the story, like we got to see inside the serial killer's mind, which just made it all the more creepy, and for that I loved it even more. The last book I borrowed out from the library for this trip was The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johnson. This book is about Calcia, who has just turned 19, and on her 19th birthday, the soldiers come to take her away. They come to escort her back to the place of her birth. You see, when she's 19 years old, she gets to become queen. And so whether she likes it or not, she inherits this kingdom, which is very corrupt and dangerous, especially dangerous for a new queen. And her uncle wants the throne. There's a big price on her head, and she's thrown into this dangerous world. There are 2 predictions about her for her becoming queen. The first is that she'll die within the first week. The other that she'll become the most fearsome ruler the kingdom has ever seen. I just finished this book and I really enjoyed it. I loved the plot twist, the story, and the characters were also really captivating. I'm not sure, however, if I want to buy this book. I definitely want to continue with the series, but I'm not sure if it's a series that I'll reread. So I'm gonna have to think about it, whether I just want to borrow the books from the library or whether I want to buy the series. But yeah, these are the books that I borrowed from my library. Let me know in the comments below if you visit your local library and what you tend to borrow from there. And like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos to me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!